That's the old saying that before you try to heal somebody, first ask them if they're willing to give up that which is making them sick. Just sort of understanding that concept that we're inherently healthy. We should be healthy at all times, basically, unless you have some sort of congenital issue or genetic issue. But even then, most genetic issues they have a genetic predisposition and environmental trigger. And so again, stop doing things to yourself. And I know thinking about that from that point of view, your body's trying to heal, but also you're not giving it the building blocks. That's something that I see a lot in just my day to day with patients. You have to, I mean, to use a sort of a specific example, like, I mean, from a macroscopic level, I mean, you have someone with like multiple sclerosis. This is a demyelinating disease, means it breaks down the myelination around the axons and the nerve fibers in the central nervous system. And so this is going to affect your brain, your spinal cord, so on, and cause very serious neurological issues. So the first part of that is the damage. Okay, so how do we address the damage? There's certain things that are precipitating that damage, and my ideas are that this are actually different exposures that we're having, lectins, glyphosates, different sorts of things you're putting in or on your body that are then actually attacking your body, and your body's actually trying to defend your body by mounting an immune response. But the end result is that you get damage to your nerve. And okay, so let's say you stop that damage, and we have these relapsing and remitting and sort of these periodic episodes of flare-ups and remissions, even in standard sort of treatment of MS. Okay, but why is it that there's only progression, and that when you look at the studies looking at a new drug or something, it's always a new drug. They've actually tested ketogenic diets to this and said, to try to see how many, if this reduced the number of new lesions over an 18-month period. But it's always that wording. Does this reduce the number of lesions as compared to this, the standard treatment? It's never can this reverse the lesions? Can this cause regression of the lesions? Why the hell is that? Well, because that's a different problem. You're having the damage, but now you need the healing. And if you don't have the building blocks, if you don't have the B12, if you don't have the vitamin D3, if you don't have choline, creatine, carnitine, DHA, EPA, cholesterol, saturated fat, if you don't have these things in enough quantities, you will not regrow your myelin sheath. I mean, even just B12. Most people are so low on B12 that they can actually get demyelination of their axons anyway. Oxford University published a paper in 2008 showing that people that had below 500 picomoles per liter of B12, which is probably the high end of the normal reference range here in Australia and most of the rest of the world, that under that people after 5 years, their brains actually shrank by 2.5%. And that under 307, the reference range goes down to like 150, 140. But under 307, they actually found that their brain shrank by over 5% after 5 years. So that most of that reference range is called normal. And most GPs will look at that and go, oh, your B12 is great. It's 200. Yeah, you're fine. And they actually don't realize that that's such a significant deficiency that they're actually getting brain damage. They're actually getting demyelination without MS. And if you have a demyelinating disease and you're trying to heal that myelination, how are you going to do that with a B12 of 200? It's not going to happen. And so,
Absolutely.
yeah, so you correct that. You give your body those building blocks, and your body just heals. And I've had a number of patients that have actually had regression of their lesions, and we're getting ready to publish a case series on that, actually showing that this is possible. So I've absolutely seen in real time, in real life, that exact model that you just, hey, take away the harm, take away the problem, and then give your body the building blocks that it needs to heal. And it heals. The body can do that. Hey guys, just want to take a second to thank our sponsor at Carnivore Bar. I don't promote many products because honestly, all you need to be healthy is to just eat meat. For those times that you're out hiking, road tripping, or stuck at work and you want a nutritious snack that is just meat, fat, and salt if you want it, the Carnivore Bar is a great option. So I like this product not because it's just pure meat, but also because I want the carnivore market to thrive as well. And the more we support meat-only products, the more meat-only products there will be available in the mainstream. So if this sounds like something you'd like to get behind, check it out using my discount code Anthony to get 10% off, which also applies to subscriptions, giving you 25% off total. All right, thanks guys. I grew up always thinking that that you have these diseases, you have these problems, and that there were people out there working on them. And these pharmaceutical companies trying to figure out pills and concoctions and medicines to try to cure disease. Because that's what my great grandfather, when he was a doctor, that's what he did. He tried to figure out the root causes, how to cure diseases. My dad's uncle, set up a number of clinics all throughout Africa and back when it was colonized, very rural areas, and going from place to place, a different clinic every day, and doing eye surgeries and cataracts and this is and that's and extreme, but just constantly they were trying to cure disease. They were trying to help people in real terms, and now that's sort of shifted. I grew up thinking that there are these diseases, but someone out there is working on it, and I mean, like, oh, how naive we are sometimes. Um, it's and I mean, and it's not supposition. I mean, Goldman Sachs has had leaked minutes from their meeting and things like that, or even slides from their meetings. People have taken pictures and leaked this to the press, asking, is curing a patient of a disease a viable business model? And of course, no, it's not, because you can then you're only treating them once, as opposed to treating them for the rest of their life and treating them symptomatically so that they can live with a disease, as opposed to getting rid of the disease, which is the point.
You can
Actually is
just
the
solve
purpose.
pharmaceuticals if people are
Mhm.
well.
Yeah, that's it. I heard a very cynical statement that someone said years ago that, oh, well, doc, well, this is why I had a problem with it, is that doctors don't want to cure patients because a patient cured is a customer lost. And that I think is wrong. Most doctors want to help their patients. And in fact, that's why there's such a high burnout in medical professions as a whole, is that we're doing everything that we can, everything that we've learned and been taught to try to help people, and they're just getting worse and worse and worse. And then we start getting sick, and we can't control it, and we're doing the things that we've advised people, and we're getting worse, and we're like, God, this is just horrible. This is hopeless, and that's hard. So it's not the clinicians on the ground, in medical practitioners generally, in all divisions of it, but really above that, is the pharmaceutical companies. They're not looking for cures, and that's we just need to know that that's okay. Like, that's their business model. They want to look for treatments to symptoms. Fine. There's nothing criminal about that. What is wrong is holding other people back from looking for the cure. So, that's fine. They can
Right.
just run on their business model, but we need to know, as
But,
the public and as practitioners, they are not looking for cures. They're just looking
no.
to make money on long-term treatments. Fine. That's their business. But we're going to keep looking for that cure and try to look for the
Well, not
cause
only
of these
are we going
things.
to look for the cure, and I think the cure is reasonably obvious. If we remove all the
Yeah,
things that do us harm,
that's it.
there is nothing to cure.
That's
So
it.
let's just work at it. They can do whatever they want.
Mhm.
Let's work at it from the other side of the story. Let's just
Mhm.
remove all their customers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, and And that's where the evil part comes in, is because they do
Yeah,
try to
yeah,
shut
yeah.
that down, because now they're trying to
Exactly.
shut down, people like myself and others who are trying to address root cause, because it's costing them money now.